Hey, what's going on, G-Ballers? Today I have a new knife here to share with you coming in from Vosteed. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to G-Ball Vision. Let me know down in the comments what you're carrying in your pockets today. This is going to be a brand spanking new release for Vosteed. And the cool thing is these are available right now to be picked up off their website. I'll have them linked down below in the description and in the pinned comment. Nice packaging as always from Vosteed, and this is going to be the new Vosteed Kroc, and it's not labeled as anything different, except these are going to come in at $69 instead of the previous $129 for the original. And that's because we have a change in materials here, and they put out quite a few versions here with this new drop. Now, the old Kroc that just came out a couple weeks ago is actually still in stock with a couple different variations. I'll have them both linked down below. But $69 for this newest version, and we're going to be looking at 14C28N for the blade steel here. And then the layout, the design, everything is going to be the same. We just have a little bit different materials here. This one's going to be G10 on G10 instead of aluminum and carbon fiber or aluminum and topo G10. We have G10 on G10 here over top of our steel liners. We still have our deep carry clip, and that is going to be reversible. We do have a lanyard hole here for the lanyard fans. We have multiple ways to deploy this with the cutout and the front flipper here. It is a really well laid out design. I'd love to see an XL Kroc as well in the future. I've told Vosteed this. And this is also the cherry on top. It's going to be sporting their top liner lock, a button compression lock. And that is why the price tag might not seem as reasonable as you might think, because when you think of 14C and G10, you might think like $50, right? $55. Well, this isn't just a standard liner lock. If that was the case, then the price, I believe, would definitely be a little bit lower. But because we are looking at this mechanism, there's a lot more that goes into the top liner lock, these button compression locks. So the price is naturally going to be a little bit higher than something with a standard liner. Now, as far as the size of this knife, for the people who aren't aware or don't remember, we are going to be looking at 2 5/8 of cutting edge, 3 inches of total blade, and it's going to come down there at 7 inches strong. We'll bring out some comparison knives here. We got the Benchmade Bug Out up top and the Vosteed Raccoon here up top. And you'll see the Kroc it's a touch smaller than something like the Bug Out is. It's going to have a very similar layout. You will have, though, a little bit more grip area from the full finger choil to the back of the handle. You have a little bit more than something like the Bug Out. The layout is going to be very similar to something like the Raccoon. You just don't have quite as much blade. And we have the Vosteed Leopard up top here and the Kaiser Militao on the bottom. And you'll see the Kroc is going to be in that next size down from them. And I believe there are still Leopards in stock. And I don't know how. The Gavco Vosteed collab Leopard is phenomenal. Love Gavco's designs, and this exact version is still in stock. That's a more premium Vosteed with M390, titanium, their top liner lock. Very premium knife and a great looking one as well. Very, very similar to something like the Kroc with a little bit different layout. Now, just from lots of experience, I know this pocket clip is awesome. They do one of the best budget deep carry clips you can get your hands on. Going to carry very nice. It's going to work well in the hand, in, out of the pocket. Little bit poking out there, but that's going to give you a nice indicator as to where you can get a hold of the knife and retrieve it out of the pocket. Good retention, and it's not overdone by any means. Tons of spring in there, and as I said earlier, this is going to be left-hand friendly in regards to the carry here, and you can use this knife lefty very easily. It's not a completely ambidextrous knife. like a crossbar lock would be, but it's pretty close to being a kind of universal design. Might even be a little bit easier for lefties. Well, maybe not easier, but just as easy for a lefty to use this knife as a righty. We'll go ahead and we'll get the arch nemesis out here, and we'll give this new Kroc a weight check here. We like to guess the weight here on the channel of these newer knives coming in, and I invite you all to play along. Even if you already put your EDC down there or something else, a second comment or third is always welcome here on the channel. I'm going to give this a go here. These top liner locks tend to have a little bit more heft to them, but this one, let's say like 3-2. 3-2. Oh no, I was gonna say 3.5 too. See, I do that all the time. If you're new here, I second guess myself in my thoughts and I go with a different number. If I would have went 3.5, I would have been right there. 96 grams. I'll take it though. 0.2. I will take it. And for everyone else, 96 grams. Now we'll go ahead and get a measurement here on our handle thickness. See what we're looking at. 0.52. Very nice on our handle thickness there. We'll get a measurement on our blade stock. And we're coming in there at 116 thousandths. Very nice. And behind the edge reading, coming in there right at 22 thousandths, which is exactly what I thought it would be at. Let's see how this Kroc cuts out of the box. We have our standard catalog paper here, and as I've said before, this will be a great EDC knife, great utility EDC. You got that nice low sheep's foot like tip here, but you have that nice, not straight edge. It has a slight curve to it, slight belly to it, but it's going to be a great cutter just to open packaging, break things down, so on and so forth. And 14C can take a screaming sharp edge, and that's why I like 14C, especially from Vosteed. I've had lots of their 14C, and they don't use it a ton anymore. They still use it though, obviously, and they put such a phenomenal edge on their 14C knives, like the Raccoons, and there's been several others as well. And this one is going to be a great slicer, ultra tough, and very easy to maintain, even for someone who's a novice at sharpening and honing your edges. We'll go ahead and we'll get in here and see what we have for a hardware check. So we got T8 on the body, T6 on our pocket clip or inlay screw here, T8 for the body, T8 for the pivot here, and we're going to be T6 on both our pocket clip screws. This is the Off-Grid Knives Bullet bit driver. It comes with a 6, 8, and 10. Highly recommendable. You can get these for like 20, 25 bucks typically, and this is my main driver, even with more expensive drivers. Just works very, very well. Even after all the fiddling around we've done, this thing is still perfectly centered up. As far as the detent goes, if you've experienced a top liner lock or a button compression lock, you already know the action is phenomenal, and it is going to be the same way on this knife here. You get all the fun and fidgetiness of a button, but you get all the strength, resilience, the dependability out of these top liner locks, these button compression locks. You have a massive stop pin in there as well. It just gives you a good up and down lockup. And speaking of lockup, let's see what the Spine Whacker has to say about this new Kroc. We'll bring old Trusty out, and we'll see what happens here. We'll start out up towards the tip there with a couple of lighter taps, and we'll give this thing a little go. I don't feel any movement in there, guys, and I don't suspect to have any issues. We'll go ahead and put this at a very awkward angle and put a lot of stress on that lock. Yeah, that puts a lot of stress on these locks. Very good. Yeah, very dependable, very resilient lock. It's going to be nice and durable. Very good. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure Vosteed is one of the companies. I think a lot more companies are doing it now. They are testing these knives before they put them in the box, or they're testing a majority of them anyway. Testing these locks, you know, what they're doing, I don't know. You know, when I first came into the knife world, I remember companies seeing videos of them smacking them and, you know, testing those locks to make sure they're fit in properly and holding up and, you know, being able to take a little bit of abuse. The knife is supposed to stay locked up. And I think companies really got away from that when we got into the action phase of the knife world, and that's what it was all about. Companies lost sight of making sure their knives stayed locked up, and they were just more worried about really loose action. And, you know, over time, it has been proven that you can have incredibly good action, an incredibly good detent, and still have very good, strong, positive lockup. And the top liner lock is kind of the golden boy, or one of the golden boys of a very dependable lock that has always been dependable. And Vosteed has really put it to good use here in their line of knives. The Kroc, I think it's an awesome knife. I'd love to see it in an XL platform for those of us who like a little bit bigger knife. But there's also a lot of people who enjoy this size right here. You'll have to let me know, is the new Kroc something you can see adding to your weekly rotation or your collection? I look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget to share this video and hit the thumbs up button. That helps push these videos out there to more people. I truly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy knives and EDC, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe, because I release videos like this every single day. I'd love to have you here. I'm going to pop up a couple of new videos. Go check out the one you haven't seen yet. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.